Welcome to episode 25 of the Dave Whitty Show. I'm your host, Dave Whitty. Can't believe this is episode 25. What started out as a little something to do during COVID has really turned into something. I want to say big thanks to all my guests who've come on over the last 25 episodes. It's been a real treat getting to know you and getting to learn all the ins and outs of different industries. Big thanks to all the listeners and everybody who sent along a kind note saying how much they enjoy the podcast or are looking forward to the next episode. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. So once again, thanks so much to anybody who's been paying attention. It really means a lot. Got another great episode. Oh, first off, I do want to say big thanks to Rachel Cousins for coming on last week. We had a great chat. She's absolutely fantastic, and make sure you do check out her new single and all of her music. Got another great episode this week, something a little different. I was joined by Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power of the Newfoundland Growlers and the Toronto Marlies organization, and of course the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. Two local guys who won a championship here with the Newfoundland Growlers. I got to know the guys quite a bit over the last couple of years, kind of knocking around downtown. They're always hanging around and coming out to check out shows. So two great dudes, and we had a real great chat all about the Growlers run and playing in Germany last year during COVID and all sorts of different fun things. But so make sure you do stick around for that chat. I had another great couple weeks, guys. I was out in Corner Brook 2 weeks ago with my good friend Mark Manning of Rum Ragged. We did a couple great shows in Corner Brook at the Rotary Arts Center, so I want to say big thanks to all the gang out there. Anybody who came out to the show, it was so enjoyable, so fun to get back in front of a theater-style audience where we get to tell some stories behind all the songs and just a real great listening audience. It's such a nice treat to do that. When you've done a lot of the kind of pub gigs over the last year and a half with COVID and everything. So big thanks to the Rotary Arts Center. We were supposed to play in Port Rexton on Friday, but with the hurricane Larry happened here on the east coast of the island, so that one got postponed. And we did a real great charity fundraiser Saturday night in beautiful Terra Nova at the golf resort there for Glenn's Helping Hand. So big thanks to all the squad there for getting myself and Mark involved in that. It was a great evening, great crowd. Everybody was up dancing. We had a lot of fun. So great couple days on the west coast of the island. Really love Corner Brook. What's going on out there right now is beautiful. Downtown West Street is really, really nice. I mean, it's really revitalized. The Hugh and Jar Hotel there is beautiful. So, if you're in Corner Brook, make sure you get down and check out, all the cool things that Corner Brook has to offer, because I really got to say I really enjoyed myself the last week when I was out there. We got to hang out with the Best Kind comedy guys, Mike Lynch, who's on the podcast, Brian Aylward, also on the podcast, and Colin Hollett, who I will definitely have on the podcast at some point. And Brent Mack, who's heading it all, also on the podcast. Managed to get to hang out with those guys Friday in Corner Brook and got to see their show. If you do follow me on Instagram, you definitely probably seen some of the antics that were going on a Friday afternoon, but I managed to get in. They got us into the show and got us backstage, and we got to watch their comedy special at the Arts and Culture Center there in Corner Brook. And man, it was a laugh. These guys are some of the funniest guys in Newfoundland, and they had us laughing for 12 hours straight. Hanging out in the daytime, and then when we got to the show as well. So want to give a big shout out to the Best Kind Comedy Tour. If you're listening from outside of Newfoundland, they are heading to the west coast of Canada. So if you're around, make sure you do, pick up some tickets and support your Newfoundland comedians. When we had a ball, absolutely. Last weekend, I did a couple gigs at O'Reilly's for the halfway to St. Patty's Day event there with the Dawnies, myself, Robert Kelly, and Alex Cull. We all played together. It was great to have Alex back with the Dawnies. Really, really fun. We split the night with the Navigators the first night, and Fine Lads finished out. And the second night, we split the night with Fine Lads, and Kitchen Party did the early slot. A bunch of great bands. It was a lot of fun at O'Reilly's. Everybody was really ecstatic. I mean, great audience. Super fun and engaging, interactive. Everybody was up dancing, singing along, and sending out lots of requests. So, want to big shout out to O'Reilly's for having us again. We really enjoyed that gig. The Dawnies gig is a lot of fun. Iceberg Alley just concluded, finished up Monday night with Johnny Reed. I want to give a big shout out to Iceberg Alley for really pulling that off. I mean, what an absolute treat to have that event here in St. John's. And to really be able to pivot from the tent to move it over to mile one within 2 days was absolutely amazing. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, the Iceberg Alley Performance Tent is a gigantic tent that they put on the banks of Kitty Vitty, which is a lake here in St. John's. And it's basically an oversized circus tent that they put up over the course of a few weeks, and they host 10 nights of great bands. And they started it on Wednesday night. A couple weeks ago, they had Wednesday, Thursday. They did two events, and then Friday we got hit by this insane hurricane. Hurricane Larry hit you know, the Avalon Peninsula and the east coast of the island really, really hard and completely destroyed the tent. I mean, so much work had gone into this event. So many bookings, so many bands booked. I mean, so many people hired, and it really was devastating. What a big blow to the tent. And they managed to really pull it off. And within 2 days, they had moved the entire event over to mile one. And it was incredible. I managed to get over there for one night, got to see the Bare Naked Ladies. Shout out to Tom for the tickets. We had a good laugh. I mean, Bare Naked Ladies, what a laugh. An incredible band, super fun on stage. They're just cracking jokes all the time and, you know, playing a bunch of the hits. And they got Fortunate Ones up to do If I Had $1 Million. It was such a fun show. I got to say, I really, really enjoyed myself. And from anybody who I spoke with, it seemed like they really, really enjoyed any of the shows that they'd been to. It's a world-class venue, world-class entertainment, and they just do it right. I mean, there's no lineups for nothing. There's lots of room around. It was so, like, if you wanted to be social distant, you could be up in the crowd. Everyone was wearing masks for the most part. I got to say, it was a really, really great turnout and just a great event. So hats off to the Iceberg Alley Performance Tent, and hoping that it lands back in a tent, you know, in the next year or so. It was great. Obviously, watching a lot of sports, guys. Really tuned into the Jays here right now. The Jays are just on this incredible run right now. The bats are hot. The pitching's been great. Right now, as of Tuesday, we're a half game ahead of the Yankees for the wild card position, which will be very entertaining. It's going to be great. I think there's 13 games left of the year. So we really need to win a bunch of them to keep competitive and make sure we can get into the playoffs here and get that wild card place. So really rooting for the Jays. The bats, like you say, have just been so hot, and just a really exciting time for baseball. September is always great. And it's an exciting time for sports. NFL season's back. I'm a big football fan as well. I love the Green Bay Packers. It was a tough week one for them. Aaron Rodgers didn't quite look himself, and the Packers didn't quite look himself, but the Monday Nighter was incredible this week against the Detroit Lions. It really showed Aaron Rodgers. He came back and just showed why he is one of the best to ever do it. Aaron Jones was a beast, 4 touchdowns, and it was just a great game. So happy football season's back. Love getting together on Sundays with my buddies and checking out the football games. It's always just been something I've done with the same group of guys for the last 15 years. So it's always a really, really fun time of year for me. So I got to say, happy to have the football season back. That about does it for what's going on in my world, guys. Like I mentioned, I had a great interview with Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power, 2 local guys here from Newfoundland who've been playing professional hockey for the last number of years, and it was just great to hear from them and to have get a little insight on what they've been up to and what their plans are, you know, for the upcoming season. So make sure you stick around for a great interview with Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power. And I'd like to welcome Zach O'Brien and Marcus Power of the Newfoundland Growlers. How's it going, fellas? Thanks for coming on today. Really appreciate you taking the time. How you both doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, pretty good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, right on. I know we were chatting a little bit the other night there, and I mean, we've been chatting a little bit over the last month or so, and I thought it was a pretty good time to get both of you on. I know, the season's coming up here. I mean, it's fall. Hockey season's coming up quickly, so I thought it'd be a great time to have you on for a chat. So once again, thanks so much for popping on. First off, congrats on the new deal with the Toronto Marlies. You both signed 1-year deals. Keep you probably playing at home this year for the Growlers, at least at home. And how excited are you both to be back with the organization?
We're both definitely excited. After having to leave with COVID and everything, we had to go to Germany, but at the end of the day, we never really wanted to leave. The 2 years that we had here were both so much fun. The city getting behind us and just be able to play at home and be able to go for a beer with your buddies after the game. I mean, we feel pretty lucky to be able to do that, so we're looking forward to get going.
Yeah, like Zach said, obviously there's nothing like playing at home. Once they came with that offer, it was pretty hard to say no, seeing how much we both enjoyed it here and we were able to win a championship. So, yeah, we're definitely both really happy to be back.
Yeah, and I think Newfoundland's is happy to have both you guys back too. I mean, it's always great to have a couple local guys. I mean, supporting the team. I mean, that goes a long way with the fans, and I mean, I'm sure it means a lot to you guys too, because I can't imagine how much fun that would be. I know you both were in Germany last year, right? You both played in the Del 2 League. For most of your careers, besides Zach, I think in 2016, you both mostly played in North America. Last year, you both played in the Del 2 League in Germany. How different was it playing over there compared to playing in North America last year? Or, sorry, the year before.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I think it was a lot different. The hockey style is a lot different. That's the first thing I think me and Zach noticed. It's not as physical.
It's bigger ice, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more space on the ice.
The big ice is good for us. We like that.
You can't really be as physical, so that obviously gave us more time with the puck and stuff like that. As being offensive players, that was a really nice thing to have. But it was different because obviously their lockdown was really bad all winter long as well. It was like an alert level 4 kind of lockdown here, so everything was closed. There was a point in time actually you couldn't even leave your house past 9 o'clock or you'd fine you. So me and Zach found that pretty tough, being away from family and stuff, and then not even getting to experience the whole European lifestyle. But we tried to make the most of it, see what you could outside, and try some of their food and some of their beer and enjoy their culture a little bit. But that was pretty much it.
Yeah, Mark's basically covered it all, but it was definitely a tough year because it was 7 months where we went the rink, the grocery store, and then home. Like that's all we were allowed to do.
Quite a pile of Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of gaming.
Way too much.
there's nothing else to do in Netflix. But
Did you guys stay together over there?
same condo building, but we had our own apartments.
I mean, at least you had each other. I mean, just to kind of hang around with, I suppose. And like you say, go to the grocery store or whatever, right? Have a beer, I suppose, in the apartment or something.
Yeah, that's basically it. But at the end of the day, we were just lucky to be able to play with everything that's going on. A lot of our former teammates had to take an entire year off of hockey, which has to be really tough. So it sucked that we weren't able to do anything, but we were able to play. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's going to be challenging. I mean, obviously, you guys would probably know, quite considerably more than myself, and you probably know a lot of people, who had to do that, had to take the year off. I mean, that's going to be challenging, not only mentally, but I mean, physically. I mean, you want to keep your body in top shape. I mean, it must be just challenging, just trying to keep your body up and in good shape to try to compete, hopefully when this thing fucks off, with COVID, when it all fucks off kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't imagine taking a year off without playing hockey. I don't know how difficult it'd be, but
yeah, I don't know if I'd still be back. I don't know if I'd be able to do it personally. I think
we have to hang them up.
It's such a different lifestyle. Like there's a lot of guys that did hang them up, like really good hockey players that are just in their early 30s or late 20s that obviously like they couldn't take a year off and then they got a business job or whatever and then
just bags of milk now. That's it.
Yeah. There was a big turnover, obviously, coming into this season. So that's why obviously me and Zach were so lucky and fortunate to sign back with the Marlies and another chance to play in the Growlers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I want to talk about the hockey over there a little bit compared to kind of what it's like over on this side. I mean, you both had great seasons last year. Zach had 49 games played, 40 goals, 43 assists for 83 points. Marcus had 47 games played, 29 goals, 40 assists for 69 points. I mean, 2 great seasons there. The hockey it was considerably different. I know you mentioned a little bit earlier, but much more of an offensive style game, right?
Yeah, definitely more offensive. And like Marcus said, with the bigger ice, you got a lot more time and space. I know a lot of our games ended up with like a football score over there, 7-6 or whatever.
Right.
But we don't mind that. But it's definitely different. Less physical, more speed, which is perfect for me and Marcus. But I mean, playing at home is definitely what we want to do. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, like Zach said, and like another thing was over there you only have 4 imports a team, and then obviously we played in the second tier in Germany, so not the first tier. So a lot of the good Germans, unless you're a little bit older or younger, When they're in the prime of their career, they're obviously in the top league. So with their imports, they only have 4 of them, so you get a lot of ice time. So like, even if me and Zach finish his shift or something like that, the coach is like, nope, you're back again, starting the power play. So he gave you a lot of opportunities to do well and get a lot of points. So that was another reason why I think we were so successful over there.
I was reading
And the schedule.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
The schedule over there is a lot easier than what we're used to.
How so?
We don't play back-to-back nights.
And I guess travel and stuff was probably a little different over there where it's a smaller country. I guess you're probably not doing as much like long distance travel, right?
The longest bus trip is 7 hours, I think.
Yeah,
7 hours, but we drive back after we always sleep in our own bed. So
Okay.
that's a little different compared to Newfoundland. We're gone for 3 weeks and we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday here. So you're not as fresh for the games. Where in Germany, you play one game, you got a day off the next day, and then you play on Sunday. So you're more fresh for the games over there as well.
Yeah,
and
and
a lot different.
I bet. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just having a day of rest got to help you out so much. I mean, you guys mentioned you're both over there, pretty much right in the thick of COVID. I mean, it was a heavy lockdown. There was no fans in the stadium, right? I mean, that must have been so bizarre. I mean, I was as guys who, especially you just came off playing for the Growlers, a huge fan base here in Newfoundland. That must have been such a different experience for the both of you.
Yeah, at the start it was just really weird. I mean, like the opening puck drop, it's dead quiet in there. It's like you're skating up at Twin Rinks or something.
Yeah.
And like people always talk about how these German fans are like soccer fans, they're singing the whole time and they got their pants and they're going crazy when you score. Like they're like real crazy fans, a lot different than like what a sports fan it kind of is hockey wise in North America. There's whole soccer mentality and everything. They have like their ultras that would follow you around, and like they'd have another bus that would go to every single road game and stuff. So
right. Yeah.
You didn't get to see any of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely obviously unfortunate. I mean, but I'd be willing to bet that you were both pretty happy just to be skating and to keeping the legs fresh for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of COVID, I actually ended up getting it, and Marcus didn't, which makes no sense. But,
oh, no way! You actually contracted it?
Yeah, everyone except I think there was 3 guys on our team that didn't get it. Marcus is one of them.
It just went through the team, hey?
Yeah, the team we played against, they had it and didn't know, so we played against them, and then a few days later, basically,
it was crazy because like me and Zach and another guy on the team, like we were just having dinner or whatever, and Zach had a different type of wine. I wanted to try it. Like I tried his glass, and then 2 days later or the day later, whatever it was, we went to get tested, and he had COVID and I didn't. I was like, what the hell? Like I even got an antibodies test and everything, still nothing.
So did you feel sick from it, Zach? Did you feel any symptoms or?
For 2 days, I knew there was something wrong with me. Like my joints and my muscles were just killing me. I couldn't even put my socks on. But other than that, it was just like a flu for 2 weeks.
And what did that entail then? Did you have to sit out for a little while, or I guess you had to quarantine by yourself, right?
Yeah, I had to quarantine for a couple of weeks. Marcus got my groceries.
I'm bringing down coffee all the time.
Yeah, coffees. Quarantine for 2 weeks, and then I think I had practiced like twice, and then I was playing again. I don't know if that was smart or not, but I didn't feel great. I didn't feel great in that first game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Had to go into quarantine, which is the crazy part. Like,
so what happened? Did the schedule have to get changed? I mean, obviously the team couldn't play.
Oh yeah, like that happened throughout the whole season because I think out of the 14 teams in the league or whatever it is, 80% or like 12 of them or whatever got COVID. So there was always like a random weekend and we'd just be like, okay, yeah, that team's not playing this weekend. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. Holy shit. I never knew that. That's super crazy. Well, I mean, thank God you never really got too sick from it. And I mean, it just kind of took you out for a couple of days, but Jesus, that's absolutely crazy. You both played Quebec junior major hockey. Zach for Katie Bathurst, Marcus for Anaranda. Any players around those times, guys, that kind of stick out in your mind that you thought were going to have crazy careers? Anything like that?
Marcus, go ahead.
I always get asked this one just because he literally played for us for like a half a year. And like we noticed how he was pretty good and like his talent. He averaged like 2 points per game and stuff like that. But the player was Nikita Kucherov. So
oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, I suppose you did. Yeah.
Like he played with us for half the season in my third year, I think it might have been. But he just had such he was doing moves that like a lot of AHL players would do on breakaways and little stuff like that. And he would always think the game a little bit smarter and is faster and stuff like that. Like I thought he was definitely going to be a good player, but turned into obviously he's one of the top 5, top 10 best players in the NHL. So it's pretty cool to play with him for sure.
I mean, most players I play with are just a lot of them are just over in Europe. There's no one like Kucherov.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
but I remember playing against him. And
was Kuch as nuts then as he kind of seems to be now? Or
he doesn't give a shit. Man.
No, he doesn't. That man does not seem like he gives one fuck.
No. Like he just be like he once I think he walked down after breakfast there and he just like littered on someone's lawn. I'm like, he can't do that. Like he got to go pick that up. And he's like, I don't care. Just little shit like that, and like he chirps fans right to their face and stuff. He doesn't care, and he still doesn't clearly. So he's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah, no doubt. He's definitely doing pretty good for himself. Zach, this one's a little bit for you, but you won the Frank J. Selke Award in the Q for most sportsmanlike player in back-to-back years, 2011, 2012. Have you always played that kind of style of hockey, and do you still kind of play that style to this day, or has that changed at all?
I definitely don't take very many penalties. That's just the way I've always been. I had a little rep when I was younger that I played soft, but I think that's out the window now. Everyone that knows hockey knows that.
Yeah, I think you definitely changed your game a little bit when you went to pro for sure.
Sure, yeah.
I felt blocking shots in practice and stuff. So like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I like winning, so
that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely changed my game when I turned pro because I had to, or else I wasn't going to stick around. So,
in what ways? In what ways have you changed it? You think?
Just like
being more physical, or
like in the AHL, it's so hard to score or even get a point. So like I had to like drive the net, stop in front of the net, go to like the dirty areas to get rewarded, or I'm just not going to be in the lineup. So I learned that. I've been lucky to have a lot of good coaches, when I was my first couple of years of pro, that basically forced me to play that way, and I definitely thank them now.
No, that's incredible. I mean, back-to-back years, most sportsmanlike. I mean, that's a great achievement, and like you mentioned, I mean, it had to be a little challenging to kind of switch that style to try to really keep yourself, present and active on the team. That was a challenge for sure. I want to get into a little bit of fun stuff, guys. I mean, listen.
Better not get us in trouble, Dave.
What's that?
Better not get us in shit.
No trouble. No trouble at all. No trouble at all. I mean, listen, you're both Newfoundlanders. You both grew up playing hockey in Newfoundland. 2019, you both were a part of the team that brought the Kelly Cup to Newfoundland after taking first place in your division with 94 points. In the playoffs, you defeated the Brampton Beasts, the Manchester Monarchs, the Florida Everglades, and finally the Toledo Walleye to win the championship and win the Growler which became the Growlers' obviously first championship, and it was also the first. You're also the first team since the '89 Greensboro Monarchs to win in the organization's first year. Can you talk about that run a little bit, guys? And some of the guys who played with you, who were an integral part of that championship run, and how do you think the team managed to pull that off in the first year? I mean, that's such an incredible feat to be a first team organization. I mean, a lot of the guys probably never played together, and to pull that off in the first year is such a feat. So, can you just kind of talk about that run a little bit and some of the guys that were a crucial part of it?
Well, we definitely had a special group of guys. Both on and off the ice. I think that was a really important thing. Like everyone was so close off the ice. There was no cliques. A lot of teams end up having 3 or 4 cliques that just do their own thing. If someone was doing something, everyone knew about it. So we became a pretty tight-knit group and basically like a family. And we still got the group chat today. People are going to be talking in it. So I'd say that's a really important part, that we were so close off the ice, and we never had anyone that was selfish. It doesn't matter who had the game-winning goal. I mean, we just wanted to win for each other because we know teams like winners. So moving on, I mean, there's so many people from that team that are making really good money over in Europe, or just having successful careers because of that championship. To mention a couple people, Brady Ferguson was one of Marcus's line mate. Hell of a player. He's playing in the Swedish First League now, which is one of the best leagues in the world. Me and Mark's so lucky to play with him. Michael Garteg, the goalie, he was insane.
He stood on his head. Yeah.
Oh my God! I think against Florida, we beat Florida in 5 games. He had 3 shutouts or something.
Yeah,
and they were one of the best teams.
It was. Yeah, I was just looking at it just like an hour ago.
Yeah, he played insane. And I got to give a shout out to Melindy and Party, to the big D men. I mean, they're both great players. Pirates obviously have a great NHL career, and both their leadership was the most important thing for us. I mean, all the young guys, they looked up to them. They kept everyone in line, and we definitely wouldn't be able to win without 2 of them. So that's the people I will mention for sure.
No, yeah, just to add on that, like, I think the biggest thing too was just we had such a winning culture. Like, I remember like the first week or whatever it was when Ryan Clough was the head coach. He just came in and he basically said, like, this is the way things are going to be here. We're going to expect to win every night, and he just held that standard throughout the whole season. And then obviously John Snowden took over when he had to step down. So I think that was a big thing. Like, we'd lose. I mean, we'd win some games and like they'd just be like really mad at it because like we didn't deserve to win kind of thing. Like, we get a couple of bounces or goaltending would play well, but yeah, I think that was the thing. And then obviously like a lot of guys knew this was kind of Pirates' last kick at the can, and he really wanted to win a professional championship at home. So I think we really took that into account in the playoffs, and we had a really good run, obviously, like you said. So it was just a lot of fun to be a part of. And then after we won was just maybe
1
the
or 2
best
drinks.
weeks of my life.
1 or 2, yeah, I bet. How crucial do you think it is? What was it to your success? I mean, kind of the Newfoundland fan base. I mean, the Growlers fans are, got to be some of the best in the league. I mean, the barn was packed every single night, and they're loud. How big is that? How much do you guys feed off of that in games?
I mean, it's definitely in playoffs when they had the towels going and everything. That got us fired up a little bit. And I remember in the finals, like right after the anthem, we couldn't even hear each other talk. So, I mean, they definitely love hockey.
We just got
Ode to Newfoundland, yeah.
Right. Chris Andrews out doing the ode, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But the way they supported us, especially in the playoffs, I mean, it was we couldn't go anywhere without someone coming up to us saying they're looking forward to the next game and that they're hoping that we're going to win for the province or whatever. But I mean, I can't wait to get back and play in front of them again. It's been way too long.
No, I completely agree with everything Zach said. Pretty well summed it up. So,
how much fun was it celebrating the championship at home while being both Newfoundlanders?
Oh
yeah. So a lot of our friends really loved that too. Like, they even come back and say like it was one of the funnest weeks they had like in a long time in their lives.
Like the guys from like your buddies from Newfoundland, you mean?
Yeah, like they're not even on the team. Like, some of our buddies with us, like, didn't miss a night, coming back to the dressing room with us and partying. So the whole week was just a ton of fun, and my family obviously loved it too. Both of mine and Zach's parents were involved for the most part until late in the night all the time, and they loved the parade and stuff like that. Like, being on the stage at George Street and seeing all the turnout and like driving down streets obviously you grew up on celebrating was really cool.
Yeah, I think you guys have been on the George Street stage just as much as I have at this point.
Yeah.
Any fun stories you want to share about the championship, like the celebrations? I mean, don't get yourselves in trouble. Don't say anything too bad. But is there anything like you can think of off the top of your head that kind of sticks out that was a bit of fun? I know you mentioned the parade and stuff like that. And also, was there any truth to the cup being damaged at a certain club, little late night? Is there any truth to that, or is that a bit wishy-washy?
Me and Zach weren't there. That's all I know.
What's that?
We weren't there. We actually weren't there.
We don't know what happened. No, but I mean, I think most guys on the team stuck around for at least a week, some 2 weeks. So they weren't in any rush to go home and see their buddies. Everyone that comes here loves it here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They love it.
Do you hear like any of the guys, like, I mean, the guys who come here who are just, probably maybe have never played here before, or maybe only played a game or two here, like on the road or something, just kind of realize like how different and unique the culture is here, especially when it comes to hockey. And even like you mentioned, like you guys going out for a beer after the game. I mean, fans are so supportive and everyone's just always in a good mood, always out for a good time. Did you notice a lot of your players, your teammates kind of embrace that?
Absolutely. I mean, the 2 years that we played here, I don't think there was one person that could say a bad thing about Newfoundland, and they all want to come back. Whether it's playing for the Growlers or if it's in the summer, just make a vacation out of it. I mean, everyone loved it, and it also helps on the ice too because if we get a day off, we're able to whatever go to Green Sleeves, listen to some live music. I mean, everyone loved that, and that makes it just getting back to work on Monday that much more fun to get on the ice and get back to work, like I said. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone from that winning team is going to make their way back to Newfoundland at some point. I could say that with confidence for sure. So I'm looking. We need to get some kind of reunion going, Marcus. Seriously.
Yeah, something. Sure.
There you go, boys. You heard it here first. Maybe like a 5 years or something, just to get the
You're
ball
playing
rolling.
on it, Dave.
There we go. Yeah,
100%.
I'll play some tunes. Yeah, I'm down. I actually just pitched a new single to the Growlers. Actually, for I'm hoping to get it in some rotation at your games. There, I'm about to put out a new single, but that's another thing, anyways. But Zach, you were named MVP to playoffs, man. 16 goals, 13 assists, 29 points. Pretty stellar performance in the playoffs there. I mean, what kind of contributed to that? I mean, it was just your line mates. I mean, it was just some worked out great or what?
Yeah, definitely my line mates, Marcus and Fergie. I mean, the coaching staff, they play me in all situations. I forgot to give a shout out to this one, Sam Jardine, hell of a defenseman. He played a lot on the back end with me, Marcus and Fergie, and he kept it out of our net to allow us to go put it in their net. So that's important. No, I mean, there's a few different people that could have won MVP. We had a lot of players that played really, really well. Obviously, it's an honor to win it, but at the end of the day, the main thing is that we won the championship. And if someone else got MVP, I mean, I'd be just as happy for them. But I'd say there's 3 or 4 guys that definitely could have won it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Zach obviously had a crazy good playoffs. I think he had like 3 hat tricks in the playoffs or something stupid like that, wasn't it? And I obviously, like you said, he was MVP, and I think he definitely deserved it. And without his leading the way offensively and everything on the ice, I don't think we would have won pretty well. So it's definitely a huge part in us winning.
Well, as Newfoundlanders, why do you both feel? And if you could answer me maybe individually, but why do you both feel that hockey is so important in Newfoundland? Like, why do you think that Newfoundlanders are so attached to the game of hockey?
That's a good question.
I think obviously there's so many Maple Leafs fans here, and then you bring in the St. John's Maple Leafs, so then obviously it's such an attachment to a professional hockey team in Newfoundland, and then I think that just carried on in the support of the Ice Caps. Like there was a crazy amount of sellouts, I think, when the Ice Caps first came back, and then obviously they brought back guys that they really enjoyed, like Jaffrey and stuff like that, and then the Growlers come in and we're able to win in our first year. So I think that's really what comes down to it. And there's such an attachment with the professional teams. And then so many of us obviously played minor hockey growing up. I think pretty well anyone that's involved in any type of sport somewhere, somehow is starting off playing hockey in the winter. So I think that definitely had a factor as well.
He nailed it. That's a good answer. A lot better than what I would have said.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's exactly true. I mean, I think, with the St. John's Maple Leafs being here years ago, I mean, that brought a big, it turned this place into a hockey town, regardless of how much hockey everybody kind of played growing up. But I mean, that kind of brought a sense of pride to Newfoundland and really got Newfoundlanders attached to the Leafs organization, which is truly an incredible organization in itself. I mean, you guys must feel just so lucky to be a part of that. I mean, when they did the training camp here a couple years ago, I mean, they did so much stuff for Newfoundland, and it was such a great fan experience. Were you guys a part of that at all in any ways?
Yeah. We were at the one that was in Paradise.
Yep.
Yeah. We were there. Yeah.
And pack your bags.
We were there for a couple days. Yeah.
Yeah, I did an event actually at Kitty Vitty down at the brewery there for a bunch of them. Rope Dog was down there strutting around his shoulders.
All the staff went, right?
Yeah.
I remember highly of that actually afterwards.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, me and Rogers were down there. Me and Andrew Rogers played it actually, and the only picture we got was with Babcock, which is hilarious.
Yeah. But like you said, we are really lucky to be in Toronto's organization. How we're treated here it's crazy. I played in a lot of places in the AHL and ECHL, but I haven't been treated better than we do here. I mean, it makes us going on the ice like easy. That's all we really need to worry about. Everything else is taken care of. I mean, I don't think there's any other team that has breakfast and lunch at the rink every single day. So we don't got to worry about that. We should just show up, eat our breakfast together, um, hop on the ice for practice, and then lunch is going to be ready for us. So a lot of the young guys, like 20-year-olds that come here that probably don't know how to cook anything, I mean, that helps them a lot. They don't have to worry about anything. So,
plus you're eating healthy, you're eating a lot healthier, but I mean, that also must help in team bonding ways. You know what I mean? Because you guys are all sitting down, you're all eating together, and you're chatting, you're talking the game, you're talking about practice and all sorts of different things that happen.
Absolutely. I mean, we eat breakfast and shoot the shit every single day, or 6 days a week together. So that definitely helps with bonding. And I mean, it's unbelievable how we're treated. It really is.
Zach, I believe you won the Calder Cup as well with Manchester. Was that 2016?
14-15.
14-15.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible feat as well. I mean, what was the difference in the Calder Cup championship and the Kelly's Cup championship?
Well, obviously the level of hockey is just one league higher, but for me personally, it was just my role is a lot different. I mean, I was relied on a lot more with the Growlers, where in Manchester we had so many unbelievable players, or a lot of them are in the NHL right now. So I was kind of on my line. I was a guy that just did make the game easier on my line mates, pretty much. But at the same time, it was an unbelievable experience. I mean, Paul Bissonnette was on the team. That got a lot of fourth line. But
Biz was on the team. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But I mean, it's hard to compare the two. But I mean, winning at home, it's just different because I'm able to celebrate with friends and family. So
absolutely, yeah. I
mean, they're both unbelievable times, but I think if I had to pick one, I mean, winning at home, I guess.
Yeah, it'd have to be. Just like you mentioned, just because it's so your friends and your family around. I mean, it's so exciting. Marcus, what do you think about the upcoming season? How do you think the Growlers are gonna hold up this year, and what do you think of the upcoming season? Yeah.
I think from what we look into contracts and stuff, I think we're gonna have another really good team. Like you said, the Maple Leafs have a lot of money. And they invest a lot in their minor league programs, like the Growlers. So there's lots of guys down here that the Maple Leafs have a lot of faith in, and the Marlies have a lot of faith in. They just start their professional careers here. So we get the luxury of playing with players like that are just on their way, moving up to the Marlies and then potentially to the Leafs. So that really helps us have such a strong team, and I think that's obviously the plan again for this year. At least me and Zach hope so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we want to pick up right where we left off when COVID hit.
Because sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the season after you won the championship, that was cut, right? Halfway through with COVID.
Middle of March.
Yeah, you never even got to finish the season, the whole season. Yeah, right. Fuck that.
And we were in first place too, and I think we had a better record at the time than we did the year before. We had another really good team. So I mean, it's just a winning culture. We don't accept anything else besides winning. So I mean, we're looking forward to get going, and I mean, like Marcus said, we've seen some players that the Marlies have signed, and there's a lot of good players. They look for a certain type of players, and the 2 years in Newfoundland, we both had great teams. So we're looking for the same thing this year.
Is there many returning players from those couple years who are back with the Growlers besides yourself?
Who we got, Marcus? Two of us, obviously.
Scurv is back, right?
Todd's back.
Yeah. Todd's back. We're trying to get Melindy to come back.
Hopefully Melindy will come back. We'll see.
Okay, nice,
Darian Plouffe is one guy who was there our first year, not our second year.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to see him. Really good player. And
is there any more local guys on the team, or is it just down to you guys now?
Nathan Knoll is signed with us, and I think there's one or two more guys that have a tryout with the Growlers. We know Kyle McGraw for sure. He's been skating with us the whole summer. He's a really good player, so we're hoping for the best for him. And yeah, him and Nate. Is there anyone else, Marcus?
Garrett Johnson as well.
Johnny. Yeah, Johnny.
He came in middle of the season from the lower league than the UCHL, the SPHL, and he actually ended up running our first power play and second power play and turned into a really good player for us. So he's obviously back again this following year. So we're happy about that.
And he's already here now. He loves it here. So
yeah, I can't imagine it's too hard not to. I mean, play professional hockey in Newfoundland where you're pretty much adored and you go out and have a good time. I mean, I see you guys out. We're all always hanging out and having a couple of pops and enjoying the night. So I mean, it's a great place. I can imagine to play hockey, as it's a great place to play music. It's kind of
course
similar for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, that's one thing all the players love when they first come here, and they're just like they can't get over. They'll come in on like a Wednesday after we have a Wednesday game. We'll go to Green City or somewhere, and like you're playing, or Andrew Rogers, or Dave White, or Damian Fowler, or someone is playing, Nick Earl, and the guys are just like, this is like world class music that you're hearing on like a random Wednesday night. So that was definitely something that
random Wednesday in February.
yeah.
Freezing cold, slush outside. Can't get a cab.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're both probably looking forward to, even just watching some, the upcoming NHL season, but are you both into any other sports? Are you into the NBA or football or golf or anything like that?
Marcus is obsessed with golf.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with golf. I'm not that good at it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm shit too. I love playing golf, but I'm garbage. But do you like watching golf as well, or do you just like
I'll watch it for sure, like on a Sunday or something like that, or like the Ryder Cup's coming up now.
Yeah, Ryder Cup's up this week. Yeah,
I'll be dialed in for some of that, or I'll do like golf pools and stuff.
I was hoping Bryson and Kepka were gonna get paired up just to see that all unfold.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Me and Zach both played soccer growing up, actually, at like a high competitive level, and we missed like even really competitive hockey tournaments in the summer before the soccer season would be over, just to play like national soccer and stuff like that. So two of us love soccer, still follow it somewhat, but that was one of the other sports we both really played a lot growing up.
Yeah, soccer for me is definitely my second favorite sport. Like Marcus said, we'd end up missing hockey sometimes for soccer, so that just goes to show how much we liked it. But I think when we were 13 or 14, we had to make a decision, and I mean, it wasn't too hard of a decision at the end of the day. But I mean, even some summers, what was it? A few summers ago, we played in like the intermediate men's league with a few of our buddies.
Oh, nice, yeah.
We don't got it like we used to, but
you get in shape though. Like
yeah,
man.
Cardio.
I was chatting with a buddy the other night, and he's got like I think his little fella is like 6, and he was just coming back from soccer practice, or he just won a gold medal or something. We were just kind of shooting the shit, and he said, "Man, I think everybody should put their kid in soccer growing up. I mean, every kid you can kind of branch out from different sports, but soccer is one that almost every kid should play because you're running. I mean, you got to run. I mean, that's a big thing with keeping you get your fitness, but plus it also gives you some mindset to be coached by a coach. I mean, to take some discipline, and you can kind of branch out from there. Whereas like hockey, obviously it requires a little bit more skill. I mean, skating is challenging. Puck handling and all those things are a little more challenging, especially to a young kid. But I mean, soccer is kind of like the basis of sport, where it's just you learn the discipline, you learn the style of game, you learn competitiveness, and you learn how to be an athlete. I mean, so that's it's always a good starting point for kids for sure.
Well, I completely agree with that. I mean, I don't think any kid should just play one sport and stick to that. I mean, at one point, like in grade 7, I think I was playing like for 6 different teams for my school, whatever I could play. I mean, you just meet new people, and like you said, you're disciplined. You have a different coach who teaches you different things, and then if you want to take one serious, once you get around high school, that's when you can decide, hey, like this is what I want to do, this is what I love, and just choose one. But I encourage all the kids to play as many sports as you can and meet as many new people as you can, for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the fundamentals of growing up as a kid. Absolutely. Have you guys been watching any of this Jays run or what? Are you following the Jays at all?
I don't know. A few of my buddies do. Yeah. I've never gotten into baseball. I don't know.
Such a long season, too. 162 games, is it?
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
Man, you gotta watch every night.
It is, yeah.
No, the playoffs come around, like I'll definitely watch some of those games for sure, World Series and that. But throughout the season, I honestly don't really watch that much.
Yeah.
When does playoffs start? for that?
I think there's like 12 games left in the season. The Jays are a half game into the wild card right now. So, I mean, they pretty much got to win. If I was to bet, I'd say they got to win the next probably 8 out of the next 13 games to make the wild card spot, which is even more hilarious because all that means is they get into a 1-game wild card. So they're gonna play 162 games to play a 1-game wild card game, which, I mean, anything could happen. I mean, you're pitching shit or your bats go cold and then you're out of the playoffs. So it's pretty wild. I mean, I mean, that's sports. That's how it is anyways.
Well, we're in Toronto in 13 or 12 or 13 days.
Jesus,
so.
boys, you might get out to see a game. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
How are
even
you?
think about that.
Yeah, I'd be in the ballpark if I were you guys.
Wow.
I might go up to the ballpark just to go up and watch it myself.
Let's go. October 3rd, we're going if you want to come.
There you go. All right. Noted. That about does it for me, guys. I mean, really appreciate you both taking the time. I know you're busy. You're both on the ice this morning, and you both got busy schedules. So, we're happy to, as Newfoundland hockey fans, we're both happy, we're happy to have you both back within the organization. Happy to have you back on Canadian soil. And wish you nothing but the best of luck in the upcoming season, guys. And probably see you at Greensleeves tonight.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks for having us.
All right, boys. Cheers. We'll chat soon.
Cheers.
Huge thanks to the boys for coming on. Great catching up with them, and everything that's been going on with the guys, and playing in Germany, and with the upcoming season, and really fun to chat about that championship, the Kelly's Cup championship that the Newfoundland Growlers took down. Really fun team that is a big part of our community here in Newfoundland, and especially in St. John's. Really brings a lot of traction to the downtown area. It's something that we can all rally behind, and it's always fun to get out and check out those games. And it's always great to have a couple local guys like Marcus and Zach, who are a big part of that team. So, thanks to them for joining me again. Really, really appreciate it. That about does it for me, guys. You know what I'm up to. You can always catch me around. I'm always doing a few solo things. Tuesday nights, I'm at Shamrock right now with Mark Manning. I got this weekend off. Gonna take it pretty easy because I've done a lot of gigs, and I'm starting to feel a little bit in the throat. So I'm gonna take a couple days off and try to recharge the batteries, and I'll be back. I'll be back next week for some more tunes. As always, you can follow me on all social media at Dave Whitty, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever you like. My website's back up and running, www.davewhitty.com. That about does it for me, guys, from downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm Dave Whitty. Peace.